Been a couple of weeks since Dawntrail had come out for Final Fantasy XIV, and I did a first impression, but now I want to give a more concrete impression of Dawntrail, since especially it been a couple of weeks of the expansion have come out. Of course, there's still more things coming out, like Savage and also other patches, but I want to just give a, how do I feel about it? So let's just get straight into it. And of course, this will have spoilers, so I will give you 3 seconds to leave if you don't want any type of spoilers. 1, 2, 3. And if you're still here and wants to avoid spoilers but still watching this, you're quite a dumbass and you shouldn't be upset for me talking about this now though. And what's the best place to start than the MSQ? It's one of the most selling points for Final Fantasy XIV, not only for the dev but also the community. It's something that we seal no matter what, in any hour, any year, or any day. So my opinion of this MSQ is that it was just good. And one thing by that is that I have a very simple rating of how I rate anything: movies, shows, games, and it comes to that it's bad, okay, good, amazing, masterpiece. For example, I think ARR is okay. Meanwhile, I think Shadowbringers is a masterpiece and Endwalker is amazing. That's how I rate anything in my whole life as of now. So like I mentioned before, I think the MSQ was just good in Dawntrail. I really like the world building a lot. I think Dawntrail as a overall continent and the people in it and how they interact with each other is honestly phenomenal. I like most of the character, like Guja. I think he's just a cool person, nice father. He's just a badass. I feel like that's the whole point of his character. I like Koana because I feel like you see his growth throughout the MSQ. And then Zorja, for the very simple reason he have a banger goddamn soundtrack for his trial. And also there's actually one more character I really like a lot, and that's Sweef. I think she's an amazing goddamn character. And I also like how she didn't really deter from her path at all, even though it was the most, how can I say, incorrect path. Want to use other people and other sources and shards to get Aether. That she wasn't, her plan wasn't smart, but she was overall a good character. And also, I don't know why, I have a feeling that we're not done with her character, just a feeling. Lastly, I overall do like the conclusion of Dawntrail, especially the sneak peek that we have gotten on it and a little bit of strings they have left, especially with the inner dimension thing having the same symbol as Azim. What that have to be, or what they have mentioned the last patches before Dawntrail with the dimension possibly trying to restore the void, or also the first, like things like that. I think is going to be the major focus for later patches and possibly later expansion, and I'm super excited for that. Now let's mention the bad, and the first one I want to mention is that it's really goddamn slow, especially at the beginning. I think the major reason why it's so slow is the amount of cutscenes there is in Dawntrail. There's 21 hours in it, I'm pretty sure, which funny enough is only 2 hours shorter than Endwalker. I think Endwalker makes sense for it to be that long. In conclusion, they're trying to wrap things up and trying to make it dramatic as possible, make suspense, and have a satisfying conclusion. Meanwhile, Dawntrail was supposed to be a introduction to a overall new world, and I expect it to be long, but I don't think it had to be 21 hours. I think honestly 4 hours of cutscenes could have been taken out and you would still understand the overall arcing story of the expansion. On top of that, I feel like there were also cutscenes that should have been voice acted but wasn't voice acted, and it felt very weird that it wasn't voice acted. One example is a campfire scene with Alice, Otis, Yu, Wookalamont, and Zorja, child that he abandoned, named after the father, Guluja. So overall, it felt weird that this one cutscene wasn't voice acted at all. And this is kind of funny because this isn't the first time a campfire scene with very impactful dialogue and character progression or character growth is not voiced. This happened in Heavenward, and I'm kind of mad it happened again. But let's go to the second major one, or technically now third. Now thinking about it, I was actually wrong. I had 3 major problems with the MSQ, but okay, third major problem, and that is the over-reliance of Wookalamont for the story. And what I mean by that is that I feel like there should have been more impact for side characters in the story, either for Wookalamont or themselves overall. For example, I feel like Alphanon didn't have that much say or didn't really have a lot of present in the story, and I think that sucks because I feel like Alpha and I have experienced a bunch of things that could have been useful for Wook Lamont to take in or to learn from him. Other character, for example, is Baka Jaja. He have a tragic backstory, but you wouldn't know that at the very end. There wasn't enough foreshadowing. He just feels like he was just there for majority of the story just to be the bad guy, and for Wook Lamont to show that she's a good guy and she could do no evil. And I think that kind of sucks for the character, especially a relatively cool character at the end of the story. And the thing is, I still think Wook Lamont is a good character. It's just that the way she is written in the story takes away from other characters and the overall story of Dawntrail, and I think that sucks, and hopefully they learn from it in the future. But that's pretty much the good and the bad of the MSQ, and why I think it's just a good story overall, not a masterpiece or not really bad, just good. Let's move away from the MSQ and let's talk about other things, and I want to talk about jobs here. So I've been playing two major jobs for Dawntrail right now, and that is Dragoon and Pitomancer. Right now I have my Dragoon at level 100 and also Pitomancer. So Dragoon, in my opinion, hasn't really changed as much from my early thoughts. I really like the job and everything, super fun. The feel of Dragoon is still there, which I enjoy a lot. The only thing I don't like is right now I'm playing at 2.45 and I want to kill myself. I mean, be a floor tank. But besides that minor error with the equipment I have, it mostly is my fault right now. I've been, again, enjoying Dragoon, super fun. I love the 2 combo route, the jump, the animation of everything looks goddamn phenomenal for Dragoon new skills and upgraded skills. And Pitomancer, same thing. Haven't really changed my opinion of much of it. I enjoy the job very much because of the aesthetic. I think it's funny to draw pictures in the middle of fights and also hit things with a big giant hammer that you imagine out of the painting. I think it's goddamn hilarious, and I definitely do see myself playing it more in the future. And what I mean by that is I'm going to keep on playing that job until 7.1, and then I'm just going to go to Dragoon and keep on playing Dragoon until patches into the next expansion. That will most likely be the case. There's other jobs I do want to keep on leveling, like Sage. I love Sage in Endwalker, and I have a feeling that I will like Sage in Dawntrail. And then there's also Dark Knight, because I need a tank to round out the whole thing. But let's talk about the dungeons in Dawntrail. Honestly, they're relatively fun. They're engaging. The bosses are honestly really great. I think they're way better than the Endwalker bosses for dungeon fights. And honestly, they look phenomenal too. And there's trials. I have only done the normal one in a stream, but what I could say is I absolutely love the OST of the Everkeep and the Innerfoss, I'm pretty sure it's called. There's phenomenal, and I am super excited to actually do the stream version. I've seen a few mechanics for both of them, and they honestly look amazing and honestly fun to solve. So eventually I am going to do the stream. I need to do it after completing the normal raid in 7.1, and then I'm going to do the stream after that. So I'm super excited to try that once that time does come. But I have to say, that's pretty much the final thought I have of Dawntrail and what I think about it. I overall think that the story for the MSQ is good, but the overall expansion and what we have gotten for so far right now, it feels potential in the future of what they could do, and also what we know for the roadmap of it. And I'm super excited for everything. I am super excited for the future of Final Fantasy XIV right now. They just have to polish on the story aspect of the game right now. So I hope all you have a wonderful day. See you and good luck.